Cryptocurrencies, virtual currencies, digital assets. How do you classify them? How should they be regulated? Under what jurisdiction do they fall under? The auspices of the CFTC, the SEC, the IRS perhaps? Are they property? Are they commodities? Are they securities? Are they derivatives? I mean, those of us in Bitcoin know what Bitcoin is. We know that it's a cryptocurrency. And we know what that means. But how will the government treat it, and what implications will this have for the crypto sphere, the crypto markets, and Bitcoin in particular? Well, all of these questions could be handled in a in a far more surgical way with the help of a self-regulatory organization similar to what we currently see in the financial markets in America. It is this idea that the Winklevoss Twins, proprietors of the Gemini Exchange, hope to promote. Let's take a look. All right, thanks for joining me today. I hope you're having a terrific Monday wherever you are. I hope that your portfolios look good, although the general market does not look so great right now. And I hope that your day is going good, whatever you're doing and whatever venture you're in. If you're new to the channel, please, if you like what we're doing, if you enjoy this content, please go ahead and click that like button. Give us a nice thumbs up. It helps those later on down the stream find what they're looking for. And if you enjoy what we're doing and you like our content, please subscribe, click the notify button, and please leave any of your comments down below. As a front note, any links that I talk about, any material that I talk about will be discussed and linked to down in the notes section down below. So please view that if you have any questions about the stuff that we cover here. All right. So we're going to dive right into this. We're talking about self-regulatory organizations today and what they are. So I'm going to go ahead and get small down here. Sorry about the screen jumping around. So our first article comes from CoinDesk, and everybody's been talking about this. The CFTC official backing the Winklevoss crypto self-regulation bid is the title of the article. And so over on Coinbase, you can go ahead and read this if you want, but basically, I'll break this down for you. The Winklevoss twins have kind of front-run this whole issue. They've come out and said that what the cryptocurrency market needs is a self-regulatory organization so that we don't have crude and archaic regulation coming in from organizations like the CFTC, which specializes in commodities, futures, and derivatives, or the SEC, which specializes in securities. Neither of these organizations are well suited to the demands and the new technology, just the new asset class that cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin in general are as a whole. They're not geared toward dealing with it, and what they will do in their wheelhouse. They can only deal with things according to their rules, their regulations, and how they've treated things before. But Bitcoin is not a commodity. It is not a security. It is not property. It is a cryptocurrency. So neither of these organizations have the tools required to monitor this new asset class. And I think what the Winklevoss twins here are trying to do for the community, and everybody should be supporting the Winklevoss twins and what they're doing here. We'll get into a little bit later how there are different thoughts on either side about this. However, I support this. I like what they're doing. Now, there's nothing for certain here. We have no idea that this will come to fruition. We know that this is something that they're talking about, and we do know, however, that the SEC, the CFTC, the United States government, and governments around the world, the banks in particular, want to crack down on cryptocurrency. And when I say crack down, I don't necessarily mean crack down as in eliminate or get rid of it. Everybody's excited to get in. Banks are excited to jump in. Institutional money is sitting on the sidelines waiting to pour into the virtual currency sphere, the cryptocurrency sphere, the crypto markets. They just want regulation. They can't mess around with their capital. They want to know, obviously, security and custodianship of virtual assets is an issue. How do we store it? Who do we go to if something goes wrong? Cryptocurrency, you can't really go to anybody, but you have to have a proactive approach to security and custodianship. Lots of solutions out there. Cold storage, there's many, many, many different ways to do that for institutional investors. BitPay is a good example, although some of their practices are questionable. But let's just dive into this article. So the Gemini founders, Cameron and Tal Winklevoss, have put forward the idea of a self-regulatory organization. Now, what really hit the headlines is that the CFTC Commissioner Brian Quintense has advocated for the same creation of a crypto SRO. And I like that. I also want to harken back to Chairman Giancarlo's pro-Bitcoin stance during the Senate committee hearing just about a month ago. On a statement released on Tuesday, he congratulates the Winklevoss on their thoughtful approach to the area, going on to say that ultimately a virtual commodity SRO that has the most independence from its membership, the most diversity of views, and the strongest ability to discover, reveal, and punish wrongdoing will add the most integrity to these markets. I encourage Gemini to be aggressive in promoting these qualities within any SRO construct. Now, does this mean that an SRO will be the end-all be-all to regulation? No. What it means is this is an opportunity for cryptocurrency to get in their experts, those in the space who are open to the growth of the technology that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies offer to the world, who don't want to hamper its growth and development, and who want to allow it a safe space to breathe and take a do no harm approach like the government did to the internet back in the 90s. This is the best approach. We're not exactly sure what the future of cryptocurrencies will look like, but we do know that it will be amazing and that many, many wonderful things will come from all this technology and all this innovation. However, we are dealing with something that is financial in matter. We're dealing with a new asset class. You're dealing with institutional money that will come in and get involved. I understand the argument from many people in the cryptocurrency sphere that they do not want this regulation to come in, that Bitcoin does not need regulation, that Bitcoin is designed to disrupt the banks and get rid of the banks and get rid of the governments and get rid of this regulation. I understand that argument, and as a libertarian, I'm with you. However, the reality of the situation is that these regulators and these government entities are going to come in. They're going to come in. They have the power. They're going to make the rules. And the best thing to do is navigate those waters. Just like when you're looking at the chart, if you're trading, there's not a lot of profit to be made by shorting something that's going long, or by going long on something that's currently dumping. There's no point in doing that. Now, I'm not saying that a contrarian trading style like Peter Thiel, for example, can't be profitable. Peter Thiel has made his living trying to call tops and bottoms. Then you have people like other types of traders who are generally trend followers, and that's been profitable for them as well. I'm not really talking about trading strategy here. I'm talking about going against the tide. It's very, very hard to do. And when you know that regulation is going to come in from the government, I think the best thing that cryptocurrency can do, seeing that it's going to happen anyways, is that we should get in front of this. We should get in front of this, get our people in there, get the people who are sympathetic to cryptocurrency in there. Of course, there's going to be greed and fear and wrongdoing being done. There always is when you get any group, any large number of people involved and you're dealing with a lot of money. There's going to be that. But that's already happening in the cryptocurrency markets. And if you don't think that there should be some regulation, that there should be some protection for the investors and traders out there, that is not there today, then I disagree with you. I think that centralized exchanges are very risky. That's why I'm very bullish on decentralized exchanges moving forward. We've talked before on the show about AirSwap token, Kyber network, and 0x in particular. In particular, I really like AirSwap token and 0x. I think they're great protocols, especially 0x. Many things are being developed upon it. AirSwap token has an amazing team. They're in negotiations for financial backing. They've got a lot of institutional backing to them. They've got a lot of contacts within the legacy finance arena. So, check those out if you want. Obviously, my disclaimer here, everything here is for informational, educational purposes, guys. Do your own research before you invest any money, please. So, getting back to the story, Gemini is proposing what they want to call a virtual commodity association, a nonprofit, independent organization to be governed by a board of directors. Obviously, I understand the issues here with anything like a board of directors or a governing body. This is the same issue that I feel about Ethereum. They have, and we made a video just recently about their EIP, their recent Ethereum improvement protocol that got struck down. And it was basically calling for a council of elders, they were saying, to be able to have the power and the ability and a method for doing things like reversing the code, like what happened with the DAO. So when the DAO happened, you had Ethereum Classic chain that split off and the Ethereum chain that split off. and they did that through a vote, the argument from both sides is that we need to have a framework for when we can and cannot reverse the code to secure people's money that gets lost in a hack. The other argument is that you shouldn't be doing that. You can't centralize authority like that, and every time you do that, you set a precedent. You set a precedent just like people running to the government to get a bailout when their own poor decisions lead them to financial ruin. You should let that sit as it is and allow people to grow and move on through their own failure. I actually agree with this viewpoint. This is the way that you promote the right things in society. You reward intelligence and innovation, and you punish failure. That is the only way that you actually genuinely improve and drift toward anything resembling perfection, is by punishing those who do not succeed and rewarding those who do. That's why I love the free market, because that's how it works. Innovation, intelligence gets rewarded, and poor choices, poor decision making, low intelligence gets punished. And you get the governments that step in and subsidize everything and screw up the whole system, and then Bitcoin comes along and disrupts all that. So, a very similar story over here at Bloomberg. This is the exact same thing. The Winklevoss twins went to get this out, and I'm not hearing, I think, enough people talk about this. Now, obviously, there's different circles that you can drift in when you're dealing with Bitcoin. You stay in your troll boxes if you're a trader, you're a small guy. Those who are more institutional in mindset are not hanging around in these circles, and so I'm sure they're talking about this, but this is big, guys. As I said, regulation is coming in, and we can either get in front of it and try to move it in the direction that we feel will be the most beneficial to this ecosystem's growth, or we can ignore it, put our heads in the sand, and act like it's not going to happen and whine and cry about it when it does come around, because then it will probably move against you. Now, I will say, from a macro perspective, I think this is a good thing for the price, and I'll tell you why. We have seen this large sell-off, which I'll be making a video about later on in the week. And I've already talked about many times previously about the Tokyo whale. If you check out our last video, I'll talk about the Mt. Gox trustee, which is the news all over the cryptosphere, dumping thousands of Bitcoin on the open market, which was a horrible decision and tanked the price. And I even pulled up that chart, which correlates all the exact points where he sold to the top and the bottom of the market. Obviously, the market has recovered since he stopped doing that and has doubled almost in just a couple weeks. Now we've come down significantly, so we'll see how that goes. Not doing any charting today, guys, no technical analysis, just talking about the news, specifically as it relates to this SRO. But this is good for the price. The reason being because if you look at the macro picture and you look at Goldman Sachs-backed Circle purchasing Poloniex, if you look at JP Morgan talking about developing their own blockchain, actively involved with Hyperledger, everybody actively involved with Hyperledger, if you look at the R3 and Ripple lawsuit, if you look at the fact that regulation is coming around Bitcoin, these are not things that come in before something goes down. These are things that come in so that institutional money can finally get in with some guidance and regulation on what they can and cannot do so that everything can go up. This is still a brand new emergent technological market. Nothing has changed just because we've seen a massive panic sell-off in the last 2 months, mainly caused by the poor decisions of one individual. And I think good institutional investors are looking for a better buy-in price than $20,000. You have all this money sitting on the sidelines waiting to come into cryptocurrency, but they need regulation. And the quicker we can get it done, maybe not the quicker we can get it done, because things done in haste are often not good quality. You want things done well. We want good regulation that provides institutional investors and large banks and financial markets the right guidance and rules to operate in this space so that they can have some security and clarity on how to store their Bitcoin, on what they can do with their Bitcoin, if they're just going to trade against Bitcoin, if they're just going to cash settle stuff. All this stuff needs to come out before a lot of this money is going to come in. And I think that as we start seeing small pieces of regulation come out over this year, you're going to see the price start to go up. You're going to start to see a recovery. So I would recommend, if you're trading, you can trade. We make videos about that. But if you understand what's going on in the macro sense, you have to understand that there is a finite supply of Bitcoin. and you're talking about large money coming in and wanting to gobble up Bitcoin, there is going to come a time when purchasing Bitcoin will not be like it is now. You won't just be able to go to Coinbase or Gemini and buy free, cheap, and easy Bitcoin. There will come a time in the near future when purchasing Bitcoin will be hard to do because nobody will want to sell it. Why would they sell something that is as valuable as Bitcoin will be? Holding is a wonderful strategy, and it has paid off for every Bitcoin holder who has practiced it over the last decade. Keep that in mind, guys, as we move forward. How do you feel about the future? How do you feel about regulation? Do you still believe in Bitcoin? Do you understand that large banks and institutional investors moving into Bitcoin, do you understand what effect that will actually have on the price in the long term? Do you understand the stability to the markets that regulation would add? Do you understand the impact that government interest in Bitcoin even in the first place will have? Not to strike it down, but to help it grow and promote it. Obviously for their own selfish ends, but Bitcoin is something that cannot be tamed by governments, by anybody, by any one person, or by any group of people, because it is a protocol. It is a human desire agnostic protocol. Leave your comments in the section down below. I would love to hear from you. Keep the conversation going, guys. Again, if you're new, please click that subscribe button and give us those thumbs up. Really appreciate you helping us grow and move forward here and try to broadcast our message to a wider range of those in the crypto sphere. Anything you guys like us to cover too, just let me know. I really appreciate all the comments that I get, the emails and everything. Everything that we covered will be down in the notes section down below. Thank you. I appreciate everybody. I'm JWise Free for Cracking Crypto, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Hey guys, if you enjoy what we're doing here and you'd like to join the community, please check out crackingcryptocurrency.com. You can find all our latest blog posts, our latest videos, our latest countdown timers, our latest trading advice, our latest moves that we're doing. You can also join the Discord community and join us in the Discord. Lots of good people in there, lots of good resources, and lots of good information. So I hope to see you all there. Again, crackingcryptocurrency.com, and all the information for that will be also in the notes section down below. Thanks, guys. Keep trading.